Hello, N4H&H here, listening to the eCars Net 7255, and I want to show you something. There's a group that has moved in at 7.253.5. I shot another video about this, but it was longer. I'm going to make this one a quick one. There's also South Cars 7251, and this group is interfering with both of those nets. So I want you to see what I've done here. You see that the eCars net control's not super strong. Yes, I'm running IPO1, but compared to the other guy, let me show you where he is. You can't see the S meter, I know, because I've got it panned over here toward the DSP, but let me pan so you see their strength. And I'm going to disable everything but the auto notch and digital noise reduction, which I have it for. Okay, so you see how strong he is. Now I'm going to go back to the eCars net, which with all that QRM area is hard to understand. And see the net control in eCars is very low in signal compared. Now, I'll show you what I did to deal with this. So now I can hear the eCars guy. So I kicked in a, let me do it in order. So the first thing I did was narrow my width because the interference is 1.5 kilohertz below. So I narrowed the width to 1.1. Now how in the world do you do that? Well, narrow mode right here, even works on sideband. See, normal is 1.5 to 4. But if you tap the narrow button here, you can now go from 1.8 down to 200 hertz, which you can tell at 200 hertz is hard to understand what they're saying. So I'll try 1.5, but they're 1.5 kilohertz away. Probably going to have to at least go to 1.35, then shift. And since the interference is a high pitch, you go negative with your shift. We're on lower sideband. If the interference is a lower pitch, which would mean maybe that you're on 7251 South Cars and the interference is coming in from above you, then the interference is going to be a low pitch. You would go positive with your shift. So hear the high pitch? Okay, so I'm going to have to go to 1.1 width and negative 400 on the shift. I heard just a little bit of it still in there. I'll show you something else I'm going to do. Okay, so there it is. I'm kicking in my mu tuner. If you have a VRF, then use it. Mu tuner is an optional device. So what I'm going to do with the mu tuner, you see the skirt there, how narrow? So it's a preselector that's adjustable. There he is. So what I did was I moved opposite of where that offending frequency. So I moved the mu tuner. I'm not centered up on 7255 anymore. I moved up the band a little bit, dropping the QRM down into the skirt, also dropping this net control operator on 7255 down into the skirt. But since the other guy is a little bit lower in frequency, it should knock him out first, and I can still hear this net control. Now there's just a little bit of a remnant in there. I could use shift, or I could go down here and go even narrower. I don't like to go less than 1.1. So negative 480. There's what it is without all that help. I mean, these guys are 1.5 kilohertz below this net. I don't understand what's going on here. It's been going on for a while. They've been arguing, but I know that the E-Cars net on 7255 has been there for years, as has South Cars on 7251. But again, there we go. I can hear these guys by engaging these three features here. If you don't have a mu tuner, then use VRF and do the same thing. If the interference is coming from below the frequency you're listening on, go to the right. If it's above, go to the left. And then remember on shift, if the interference is high pitch, in this case lower sideband, and they're below me in frequency, then I go negative on the shift. And if the interference is above the frequency you're listening, and therefore it sounds low, wonk 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 kind of sound, then you go positive. You see, and positive in this case makes it worse. And I'll tell you another little thing. You hear that little high pitch that's left over? Another thing you can do is knock it out with your manual notch. Okay, I hope you found the video helpful and informative. 73 from N4H&H.